Good morning, this is your 10-point newsletter for July 29, 2026. I'm your host, and let's dive into the stories shaping today's conversation. We begin with a look at the shifting landscape of American politics. The Democratic Socialists of America, once thought of as a baby boomer relic, now counts more than 120,000 members. Its recent primary wins have stirred panic among mainstream Democrats who dread a Tea Party-style moment ahead of the midterms. When we spoke with DSA leaders, they described the Democratic Party less as a partner and more as a hostile takeover target. Also on the political front, the Federal Reserve's decision today is unusually hard to predict. While Wall Street usually has a clear read on what the Fed will do, Chair Kevin Warsh's tight-lipped posture has left markets guessing. Nick Timiraos breaks down what to watch for as the announcement approaches. And to lighten the mood after all that intensity, our food columnist Adam Chandler crossed the Hudson to sample one of your top quiz recommendations, the New Jersey Sloppy Joe. It's a tasty reminder that even amid serious news, there's always room for a good sandwich. Moving to today's headlines, we start overseas. Iran launched a surprise ballistic missile attack on American forces in Jordan, a violent escalation that piles fresh pressure on President Trump to renew the war in earnest. Closer to home, President Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. Neither side offered a clear signal about the United States' near-term Iran strategy or what role Israel would play in it, leaving observers to parse the meeting for hints. In the financial sector, Morgan Stanley bankers were pressured to approve mortgages for wealthy clients. The bank insists it has not compromised its underwriting standards, even as the pressure continues to mount. Turning to climate news, some of the largest wildfires to sweep through Europe since World War II had an unusual spark, an exceptionally wet winter. The paradox of heavy precipitation leading to intense fire season is a key detail scientists are examining. Domestically, New Mexico has risen to become the second-largest oil-producing state in the nation. The state is now divided over what to do with an estimated $75 billion in oil cash, sparking debate over investment, taxation, and community benefits. Finally, the Trump administration plans to end a subsidy program that has helped hold down premiums for Medicare drug plans. The move could affect costs for millions of beneficiaries who rely on that assistance. Let's check the markets. As of 6:01 a.m. Eastern Time on July 29, 2026, S&P 500 futures were up 0.32% at 7,489.50, Dow Jones futures were down 0.06% at 52,914.00, and Nasdaq 100 futures were up 0.45% at 28,049.00. In corporate news, Jersey Mike's is set to go public at a roughly $8 billion valuation after about 18 months under Blackstone's ownership. The sandwich chain's IPO could be one of the year's notable market debuts. Meanwhile, a backlash is brewing in Silicon Valley against Anthropic. Concerns center on the company's product launches that compete with existing software providers and its advocacy for a closed AI ecosystem, prompting debate among developers and investors about the future of AI openness. Next, we turn to a deeper look at the Democratic Socialists' rise. The movement is wielding surprising political power. Candidates from the DSA have swept to victory in several recent high-profile races by preying on Democratic incumbents and capitalizing on popular discontent. The next showdown comes Tuesday, when congressional primaries in Missouri and Michigan again pit Democratic Socialists against incumbent Democrats. Reporters James Finelli, Joshua Chaffin, Eliza Collins, and Kevin T. Dugan unpack how the DSA's advances are stirring consternation and sometimes panic among mainstream Democrats. Shifting to demographics, Rachel Louise Ensign's notebook explores why middle-class families with children are leaving cities across the country. She and colleague Paul Overberg began by asking whether families were exiting New York City. Paul, the newsroom's demographics expert, compiled and analyzed a decade of census data. They quickly saw the trend extended far beyond New York. Cities rich and poor, in every geographic corner, are experiencing big declines in the number of children. The drops are especially stark for the youngest kids. In San Jose, for example, children under 5 are down a staggering 34%. Their analysis looked at the 38 U.S. cities with populations over 500,000. Ensign interviewed families nationwide to understand what's driving the moves. Many said high-cost places like New York simply became too expensive, prompting relocation. Even families living in more affordable areas expressed worry about rising living costs after years of climbing home prices and inflation on everyday goods. The falling birth rate also plays a major role. Ensign spoke with people who have chosen not to have children, gaining insight into the nuanced decisions at play. One woman explained she decided against IVF largely because of the costs involved. Another said she is foregoing kids because it would mean giving up activities she enjoys, and she wants to be able to help support her mother and stepfather if they need assistance in the future. These shifts are reshaping the social fabric of urban America and are already hitting local public school systems hard. Ensign notes they plan to keep digging into this fascinating topic and invites you to share which small businesses you miss fondly. Email reports at wsj.com if you'd like to contribute. Now, a cautionary tale from the world of crypto and real estate. RealToken pitched itself as the future of real estate to thousands of global investors, promising a $140 million portfolio. The company is now liquidating that holdings. WSJ's Tomas Navia investigates how the empire unraveled, offering a detailed look at the rise and fall of a once-hyped venture. Looking at what's happening today, the Federal Reserve will announce its interest rate decision later this session. Earnings reports are slated from Microsoft, Meta, and Starbucks, giving investors a snapshot of tech and consumer trends. And, of course, there's today's paper for those who prefer to read the details. Moving on to a curious consumer trend, the numbers segment highlights this summer's status symbol, a glass bottle of water priced at $3.99. Lunan water has become the chosen hydration of the chic, affluent, and health-conscious, appearing on the shelves of bougie Los Angeles grocer Arohan and at private events at clubs like Casa Cipriani. Its glass carafes appeal to eco-anxious consumers eager to eradicate microplastics from their lives. As water filtration has become an obsession among the wealthy, the brand's stainless steel process has helped it market the bottles, where at some stores they cost nearly $6, to an upscale clientele. In the "and finally" section, we consider travel preferences. River cruises are described as a snooze, and fans wouldn't want it any other way. For a certain class of traveler, boring is the ultimate luxury. As the quiet counterparts to ocean liners, river cruises offer a world of classical pianists over thumping bass, Gothic palaces over Bahamian private islands, and fine Barolo instead of margaritas. Viking has become a passenger favorite for its commitment to monotony, but a new competitor is threatening to rock the boat. Royal Caribbean's Celebrity Cruises brand will set sail on European rivers next year, and the cruise line is sending signals that it doesn't intend to keep the peace. On a related travel note, Don Gilbertson explains why you should think twice before signing up for that flashy travel credit card, urging caution amid the allure of rewards and perks. Finally, in Beyond the Newsroom, we have two pieces. First, an opinion column argues that the FDA bureaucracy can be as combative and entrenched as any in Washington. This week the agency is attempting to sink promising new therapies for late-stage melanoma and Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Second, Wall Street Journal by-side reviews the best car insurance companies based on an analysis of costs, coverage features, and more, offering guidance for drivers seeking value and protection. That brings us to the close of today's 10-point. Thanks for listening. Be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's edition. Have a great day.